joined now by Governor Asa Hutchinson of Arkansas. You're going to ring the opening bell this morning.
It's a risky proposition, but I'm optimistic today about the bell and the stock market.
A couple of famous governors from Arkansas. Whose steps are you trying whose footsteps are you trying to follow in?
I'm trying to create my own footsteps here and grow our economy.
Huckabee or Clinton? Who would it be?
Oh, well, listen, I'm a Republican from day one.
I hear you. One of the reasons that you're ringing the bell is you're outspoken in your efforts to try to make Arkansas more business friendly and attract business, like so many governors from so many different states are doing. With you, it's obviously taxation is one thing, but corporate coding or computer coding is high on the list for you.
Oh, absolutely. We lead the nation right now in computer science education, which is coding in the classrooms. I campaigned on this. We accomplished this. We mandated that computer coding be taught in every high school in Arkansas, in every public school in Arkansas. We've had over a 300% increase in students that are taking computer coding, and the largest increase are among females and minorities. So it's a very dramatic change, and this is fueling the micro hubs of technology that we want to develop in Arkansas. It's creating incredible job opportunities for the young people. There's a lot of excitement around it, and it's nice to be recognized by Wired magazine and CNBC about the success of our computer coding effort.
So the results that you've seen so far, have any tech companies said, wow, the workforce there is going to be better educated than in other parts of the country? Has that happened? Has anyone decided to come there because of that?
Well, you certainly see companies expanding, and that's we've got our own tech hubs there in Arkansas with Walmart, which is one of the leading technology companies. You've got Dillard's, but you've also got Axiom, which is a data management company in Arkansas. And then we've got startup companies that are doing very well. Matova expanded to add over 100 new jobs this year in the technology field. You've got J.B. Hunt that's adding to its workforce in the transportation sector. We have a very diversified economy in Arkansas, and the coding effort really helps us to retain those companies, provide the workforce, but also send a signal to Silicon Valley that if you want to have cost-competitive prices with coding skills, you better look to Mid-America.
So what's the income tax rate in?
Too high, but we're lowering it.
You're going to be able to. What is the legislature, Republican or Democrat right now?
It's Republican legislature, and we had the largest income tax reduction in Arkansas history, $100 million reduction, which lowers the rate, starting with the middle income. And so we recognize that we want to be competitive in our tax rates, and we are, but our income tax rate, we want to continue to work on that.
How are the liabilities with the, the government pension plans, et cetera, right now?
We've got a good history in Arkansas of financial stability. We've got a Revenue Stabilization Act that keeps us from overspending, and so we haven't run into the problems of other states. And so we have maintained a balanced budget. We have to do that under the law. Our pension funds are solid, and so we're really in good shape financially.
What's the income tax rate then? You said it's too high, but you didn't say what it was.
7%. Actually, we lowered it to 6.9% for across the board, but in the lower income, we lowered it to...
What would you like to get it to?
Well, I'd like to get it down to 5%. It's going to take a while to get there. 5%. That'd be competitive with our surrounding states, and we have lower taxes in other areas, including property taxes.
Florida's zero, and it has an ocean.
Pardon?
Florida's zero.
Well, I know. We lose a few folks to Florida, and Texas is zero, and Tennessee is zero.
Yeah.
So, we've got to be competitive.
Dry counties either.
Arkansas has got enough wet counties. You'll have a good time. Come on.
Governor, let me ask you. You've prepared two budgets for this next year. One that takes into account Medicaid expansion, and one that doesn't. It sounds like it's a pretty difficult position to put you in right now.
Well, we've got a challenge. Arkansas is one of those states that accepted the Medicaid expansion. We call it the private option, where we utilize private market systems, private insurance for the Medicaid expansion population. That's something I inherited. We've continued it. We've got 200,000 on there. We're trying to change it into Arkansas Works is what I call it, which is adding incentives to work, more employer-based insurance requirements, more personal responsibility requirements in there with the Medicaid expansion population. We've got to be able to save money in terms of the entire Medicaid budget. But we'll get through this. Arkansas is a unique state, and we'll find a unique Arkansas solution for that.
You worked with the U.S. Homeland Security Department, right, as well?
I did.
You feel safe? Should we feel safe?
You know, we should feel safe. We should, though, be very concerned about the threat. I like the attitude of the American public that you go about doing your business. You're not held hostage by the threat of terrorism, but you also have to invest in law enforcement, our intelligence community, to properly respond because it's a real threat. I'm delighted, though, that we're able to continue to grow our economy in Arkansas, rebound from the recession, despite the constant concern about terrorism globally. And, you know, our national leaders looking forward to the President's State of the Union address tomorrow to see what his strategic plan is. And I just hope the President spends more time on the strategy against terrorism versus the strategy against firearms.
Yeah. Don't be holding your breath too much on that. Do you have a top three Republican hopeful presidential contender? I won't ask you for one because you'll say no. So how about your top three? Who do you like?
Well, that's a good question. Of course, Mike Huckabee, being a hometown favorite, will be on that list. But you also look at Rubio and Cruz are running strong in Arkansas. And we have a March 1 primary, so we're part of the SEC primary on March 1. And for a long time, everybody thought that this would be wrapped up before then. It's going to continue to March 1 and a little bit beyond that. But Arkansas should have a voice to express because we're part of that March 1 primary. It should be very exciting.
Governor Huckabee has to do well in Iowa, or he's out, he says, I think.
He's got to do well in Iowa. And then, you know, Chris Christie, I think, is somebody to watch in New Hampshire as well. He's moved up some, and he's campaigned in Arkansas, so I'm close to him as a former federal prosecutor. And so there's a lot to watch in this race. I think if you, when you come out of New Hampshire, you know that Cruz will be in the mix. You know that Trump will be in the mix. Rubio's in the mix. I think the question is whether Jeb Bush, whether John Kasich, or whether Chris Christie is going to catch that next wave.
The establishment governor candidate, former governor candidate, which, yeah, they're all vying for, because they think, I don't know, there's a thought that sooner or later that you settle on a establishment governor as maybe the nominee.
Can I mention one thing about China for a second?
Yes.
Because China is a big topic, of course, but I came back from China less than 2 months ago, an incredible trip over there promoting Arkansas. But despite the challenges in China, I'm delighted that 2 Arkansas companies, Walmart and Tyson's, continue to invest there. Over 100 stores are planned to expand in China with Walmart. And then Tyson's invested over $20 million in one province to expand poultry processing there. So I think despite the nervousness, we've got to maintain our commitment to work with that economy. And I'm glad Arkansas companies continue to look at that market.
Do you stay in close contact with officials at Walmart or at Tyson's?
Oh, sure.
I would think. I mean, Walmart's struggled some over the last year. What have you heard? Has it had any impact on the state?
No. You know, in fact, you know, they had some right sizing of their executive employees. That had no economic impact in terms of Northwest Arkansas. It's still a very dynamic economy. And I'm very encouraged by their global view of what they're doing in China. I have a lot of confidence in their leadership there, so it's strong, and it's been a positive impact on Arkansas's economy.
Have you seen what you have to do this morning? I mean, I had to wield the gavel to close the stock exchange. There's a lot of pressure. And, you know, you have to hit it exactly in the right spot. Sometimes the end flies off. You could hurt someone. The opening bell, do you just press a button, don't you? Yeah. Just be careful. Just make sure. Get your finger right on. Right. No, you'll got to be right at 9:30.
I've been doing exercises.
Yeah, you have. Good. I've been thinking about good. I did that
in Jeopardy, right?
I went in training for a couple of weeks.
It's all about what happens after you ring the bell.
At least you weren't ringing it last week.